Today we're going to do an installation on a Gibson Les Paul. One thing that's unique about the Gibson is that it needs to have long shaft pots. These are available. They come with the ZW model that we're going to install today, which includes our EMG 81 and 85. They're our most popular models. If you need to get long shaft pots for another guitar, which is highly unlikely, we have them available, and you can get them directly from us or you can get them from your local dealer. Also, in order to do the work today, you're going to need a set of tools, and I want to point those out. You'll need a 1/2-inch nut driver, a 7/16 nut driver, a Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of scissors, some needle nose pliers, some cutters, a small screwdriver, and a ruler that's marked to a 1/2 inch. We're going to start by unsoldering the pickup cables. This is the bridge pickup. And also keep in mind this red wire, this goes to the selection switch. We're going to be rerouting that back to the EMG bus when we install the pickups. Now, like I said before, if you don't want to unsolder these, you can simply cut them. I'm going to unsolder this guy and set him aside. I'm going to keep the hot part away from the finish, and I'm going to remove the red wire. And that's it. That's all that's necessary from the bridge pickup. And now we're going to remove the fingerboard pickup cable. Now the only 4 wires that are left to disconnect are the selection switch. I'm just going to go ahead and start removing those right now. These are on the wiper of the pots. There's the white one. This is the hot from the fingerboard. The red we already disconnected. The green has come disconnected, which is actually the ground out of the selection switch. Gibson often changes the colors. Don't depend on color as far as color code goes. I know for a fact that they tend to use red for the bridge, white for the fingerboard pickup, but sometimes the green wire and the black wire can be interchanged. One of the most important wires we're going to remove is the string ground wire. This wire is used in guitars that have passive pickups installed, so the strings can be used as a shield for the pickups. EMG pickups don't require string grounding, so this wire is going to be not used ever again as far as this guitar is concerned. Now you can either remove it or you can set it aside. It's not a huge deal, but again, since EMG pickups don't require string grounding, this is a wire that we will not be reconnecting. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is remove the output jack, and use your 1/2-inch nut driver for this. Just pull it out. Set it there, and it's going to come out complete with the whole control plate. Okay, now we've turned the guitar back over, and we're going to remove the knobs, the hex nuts for the control plate, tailpiece, and the bridge. Now, sometimes it can be difficult to get the knobs off. There's a couple of tricks that you can use. In fact, here's a good one right here. Now that we've got a difficult knob. You just take a cloth, wrap it around the bottom of the knob, and give it a little yank, and it comes right off. Okay, 1/2-inch nut driver. And the last. There goes the control plate. Okay, now we're just going to cut the strings off. I've loosened them so they don't snap back. And you want to get a new set of strings. Now we're going to remove the pickups from the guitar. It's pretty easy. Phillips head screwdriver, 4 screws per. Keep a nice firm grip. Okay, now we're going to remove the pickups one at a time. Bridge pickup. We don't need to open the switch compartment except to confirm the colors of the wires, the red, the white, the black, and the green wires. We've already tested the guitar so we know which one is which, and so we won't worry about it, but again, you'll need the Phillips head screwdriver to open that to make sure if your color code is correct. Now we're going to remove the existing pickups from the mounting rings, and we're going to install the ZW set into the rings. The front pickup is going to be the gold logo, that's the 85, and the bridge pickup is going to be the silver logo, that's the 81. When you remove these, you can use the existing screws and springs because the EMGs have the same thread, 348. So this is the fingerboard pickup. This is the thinner mounting ring. And in fact, I want to point it this direction so that I get the pickup in there in the right direction. Okay. Okay, there we go. Pickups installed in the rings. Very simple. Next we're going to install the controls, and what I've done is I've pre-adjusted the hex nuts on each of the controls, and I've organized them in a fashion where this is the bridge tone, bridge volume control, fingerboard tone, and fingerboard volume control. I've got this 1/2-inch ruler. I set this first one at 1/2 inch. As a rule, you may need some adjustment, and the idea is to make the hex nuts on the top of the instrument fit nice and flush and have a nice installation. So first I'm going to put in this volume control. Now I'll show you the difference too. The volume control has 6 terminals, whereas the tone control has 4 terminals. That's how you tell the difference. So let's put in the bridge volume. Okay, next we'll do the bridge tone. Now this one is adjusted a little bit differently. It's a little longer, not that much. You know, you could go 1/2 inch, pretty much the same. Again, we're just going to finger tighten them into place. Okay, next is the fingerboard volume, and this one is definitely longer than 1/2 inch. So this is the reason that you need the long shaft pots. Add the lock washer. And the last control, this one's definitely, the hex nut is bottomed out, and it's down there pretty far. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up, and that's what the 7/16 nut driver is for. There we go. Next I want to describe the volume controls and the tone controls. As I mentioned before, the volume controls have 6 terminals. The 2 outside terminals are identical to these 2 outside terminals, so that any installation can be daisy chained or anything like that. So the pickup can actually go in on this pair of pins on the outside, or it can go in on this pair, and it would come out on the wiper, which would be the 2 middle pairs. The tone control, this is a passive tone control. There's actually a multi-layer ceramic capacitor mounted on the back side of this board, and it operates the tone control. So all in all, it's a very simple way to do it. Next is a description of the pickup selection bus. And this consists of 3 different elements. This red section is for power, so you plug the battery into one of these terminals, doesn't matter which one, and the pickup red wires will plug as well into that bus. That supplies power to the pickups. If you have an additional EMG accessory, you would just simply plug the red wire into here and it will power it all up. This black section is the in-out section for the pickups and also for the output jack. So the bridge pickups are going to end up going here, the neck pickup is on these 2 pair of pins, and the output is on these 2 pair of pins. This is the terminal block, and these 3 terminals here, the reason they're green is because they are the hot terminals for the selection switch. The bridge pickup wire to the selection switch is going to end up going in here. The neck pickup is here, and the output from the switch is here, and these are 2 grounds that are available. So you could have other ground wires coming from other locations in the instrument, and you would just simply put them in here. Okay, these wires here, and these are very easy to install. And since we're wiring the tone control, we're going to go from the outside terminals here. Just put that guy on there, and push him out of the way. And then we're going to the tone control. And this can go to either pair of terminals on the tone control, it doesn't matter. I'm putting it on the outside just for convenience sake. Like I said, these 2 terminals here are the same as these 2 terminals, so these could actually, you could plug the tone control in over here if you want to. Now we're going to do the fingerboard tone control. Same thing. Very simple. I'll just push the cables out of the way. So now the tone controls are wired. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the adhesive from the back side of the bus because it's nice to have it stuck in place when you're working with it. And I'm just going to pick a strategic spot so that I can get the jack in and out of the guitar easily. So we're just going to stick that down and So now the tone controls are wired, the bus is in place. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the output jack in place. All of the terminals that are on the output jack, the 3 terminals that are on the output jack, are what's known as fast on, and these are the type of terminals that you use in the fuse box in your car. So they're very reliable. It's very easy to attach the output cable to it. Ground is the center terminal. I think you can probably see that, okay? The signal terminal is going to be the one that's directly opposite. This is the tip. It has the tallest spring on it. You can see there. So this guy's going to go here. And then the next terminal is going to be the battery terminal. And what we're going to do is we're going to push this guy on. And when we put this together, we're going to just push the battery out of the way and the output cable out of the way. It's just the easiest way to do it, because once we get this wired, it might be a little bit difficult to get the output jack in place. So now what we're going to do is one of my old tricks. I'm going to feed this screwdriver through here. I'm going to put it into the jack, and I'm going to put that guy in place just like that. It's the simplest way to do it. Okay, might as well go ahead and tighten it up while we're at it. 1/2 inch nut driver. Now we're just going to take these 2 guys, I'm going to grab a piece of tape and set these guys over here. Next we're going to wire up the in-out side of the bus, and that's really easy to do. We're going to start with the bridge pickup. I'm going to grab another cable, plug it in on the pot, and we're going to come over to the bridge, the first 2 terminals, which are bridge, and this goes in like this. Black on the left, white on the right. And we're going to do the same thing with the neck pickup. From the wiper, the inside 2 terminals, over to the bus, and this is the neck pickup. Fold the cable out of the way. Next we're going to go ahead and just wire up the output jack and the battery clip. So here's the output, and this goes right to the bus right here. Same thing. Fold the cable away. And the red wire from the battery clip is going to plug in right. We're just going to pop it in the last one. And we'll just let that sit. We'll put the battery clip right there for now. Now the bridge pickup, remember, was the red wires. We'll start with that. We'll just insert the red wire into the contact. Give it a little tug, make sure it's in tight. The neck pickup was the white wire. Little tug. And remember, the black wire was the output, so that'll go into the next position. Now remember, Gibson doesn't always use the same color code. I don't know why. The next one is the green wire, which is ground. And there we go, everything's in nice and tight. The next step in the installation, we're going to put in the pickup cables. And you can see there's one is black and one is white. The black one is for the bridge, and the white one is for the fingerboard pickup. Now the opening in this guitar is really large, and so we're going to take advantage of that, and we're going to put the 2 cables in this way. Now if you've got a Les Paul that's got a smaller opening, it's got holes drilled in it or whatever, what you would do would be to put one of these guys through the hole, and you'd have to come from the pickup direction as opposed to going this way. And you'd just go ahead and push this guy through and then follow up with this guy. That way you can get everything through the hole. But in this case, Gibson's being very nice to us, and they're putting a nice big hole in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to route these guys in. I'm going to set this guy aside. This is the bridge. Remember, this is black, and so this is going to plug right onto the bridge volume control. And we're going to route that guy that direction. And this is the red wire from the bridge pickup, and we're going to plug that onto the power bus, just like that. We're going to do the same thing with the fingerboard pickup. We're going to plug it onto the volume control here, the fingerboard volume control, just like that. And we're going to take the red wire and we're going to plug it into the red wire power bus. So now we've got a nice clean installation in the control compartment. The only thing left to do now in the control compartment is to put the battery in, make sure everything's working, and close it up. Well, the pickups are really installed easily. We've got them already mounted in the mounting rings. So cables, as you can see, are routed into the compartments, the black for the bridge, white for the fingerboard. Now when you plug the pickup in, you want to make sure that the 3 terminals are showing, installed in the proper polarity. So just make sure that when you install it, that you put the terminals facing out. One of the benefits of having the 3-pin connector is if you want to try a different EMG, you don't have to go into the control cavity and unsolder anything, or even unplug anything for that matter. You can just simply unplug the pickup, mount another different style of EMG into the mounting ring, plug it back in, and you're ready to go. So everything's finished, we're ready, we've got the pickups installed, we're going to install the battery. And I'm just going to tape it in place real quick just to hold it. Plug it in. Turn the volume up a little bit. Okay, we got the pickup in the both pickup position. Okay, seems to be working. Let's try the tone controls. Okay, everything seems to be working great. Normally I would use just the battery piece of foam that we have, but I have the luxury of having quite a bit of packaging foam around, so I like to cover the control compartment with a piece of foam and also use the battery foam, keep the battery in, close up the back of the guitar. You can replace the battery once a year or so, just on a regular basis if you want to. So that closes up the back of the guitar, and now we're ready to restring it. I've learned over the years that it's easy to adjust the pickups if you start with the bridge pickup first. So what I'll do is I'll adjust the bridge pickup to within about, a little less than 1/8 of an inch from the strings. It's pretty easy to do, and I typically balance it straight across. And then what I'll do is I'll play the guitar in the bridge position like this, and then flick relatively quickly to the rhythm position. So we're going to start again by listening to the bridge pickup, and then the rhythm pickup. One more time, bridge, rhythm. For me, that's a little bit too much rhythm pickup, just a tad. Do it one more time, back to the bridge, into the rhythm. Yeah, I like that balance much better. So you can see the bridge pickup is about, like I say, again, it's about a little less than 1/8 of an inch away from the strings. And the rhythm pickup is about 3/16 or maybe even closer to 1/4 because of the output difference of having the pickups in the different positions. A balance typically might be a little bit lower on the rhythm pickup and a little bit definitely closer on the bridge pickup. And there you go.